Sajni here, and in this video I want to talk to you about the identity shifting principle and why working hard and struggling and hustling and chasing multiple things, especially in the space of manifestation, we see a lot of people doing affirmations and techniques and doing all of this on the surface level. It's just creating a burnout, an illusion, and it's all just not becoming very fruitful. And stick around till the end of the video because I'm going to share some key insights into this principle which has helped me personally shift a lot of things in my life. Before I begin, I'm super excited to announce that the one-to-one interaction for the Mindset and the Reality Revolution program has begun. So stick around till the end of the video for more announcement on that. So with that, let's get right into the video. So today I want to talk to you about the real simple and effortless way of manifestation. So if you get this principle locked up here, then things will start becoming more and more easier for you. Because I personally struggled a lot. I grew up believing that I need to be very disciplined. I need to work hard. I need to take massive action. I need to be competitive. I need to be ruthless in terms of taking action. I want to share this diagram I learned from Bob Proctor. This is a diagram of how from ideation we manifest the results. So he shares this very simply, that when we come to think of a tree, when we try to imagine a tree, we can imagine a tree. But really when we try to imagine a mind, we don't know what a mind looks like. But if you want to know the difference between the mind, the brain, the beliefs, thoughts, emotions, you can click up here. I've made a video on that. But for right now, let's get into this diagram. So what he explains is that the conscious mind is basically the captain or the CEO. The neocortex is basically the frontal lobe is the conscious or the CEO or the captain, which defines the goals and lays out, and basically all of the functions is logic, reasoning and analysis. And the subconscious mind is basically the crew or the member which carries out whatever goals have been defined. So actually the conscious defines the goal, the subconscious carries out the goal. The subconscious mind is really more powerful. And we can see here that 5% is the conscious and the subconscious is the 95%. In fact, subconscious also has some layer of unconscious, but right now we can just stick to the subconscious as 95%. So now what happens is that when we have a particular goal, let's say we have an X goal, and if the alignment of the subconscious mind is X, the action is taken X and the results happen X. So all of this are aligned. So whatever we're getting into a result is because of the conscious, subconscious action, everything is aligned. Thought, emotion, action. So T, right? So the T is basically it. So T is a thought, emotion and action. And then your results manifests. So now I want to share with you my example. Now when we are programmed with a certain thing, let's say for example, I was programmed with the 9-to-5 job. My parents or grandparents, all of them were into doing the jobs. So that was more comfortable for me. So that was what my subconscious was aligned subconsciously, because subconscious is something that is retained by your environment or your experiences or whatever you've been exposed to so far. Doing a job, 9-to-5 job, was an effortless thing. So what happened? I got the ideation, and I took the action, and I got the results. So I was effortlessly doing the 9-to-5 job for many years, right? But then in 2014, something sprung up in my conscious mind. Something got in my idea that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So the idea came in. Okay, let's say this is why. Okay, so this idea is the why idea. Let's say for example, I wanted to do the entrepreneurship. But what happened there? The subconscious mind now is in the conflict because it's not aligned. So because I had no experience, no understanding of what entrepreneurship is, just that my conscious mind wanted to get into entrepreneurship, right? So I left my job and I went into entrepreneurship and started a boutique, but nothing worked out. Though my action was, I was trying to do the action here, but the subconscious mind wasn't aligned. So what happened? It failed, and therefore I went right back to my job, because that was what was naturally aligned for me. Okay? Then again, 2019 again, I want to do entrepreneurship. So I started the Amazon FBA, and I started to do certain things and, you know, try to put the pieces together, right? Trying to do out of sheer will. But it didn't happen again. Why? Because this wasn't again aligned. Because my subconscious wasn't aligned to doing the entrepreneurship. I could not hold the image or hold the worth of being an entrepreneur. Then what I realized was that then I got into the space of manifestation, law of attraction, and understanding this and that, you know, muttering affirmations for many, many years, taking action, massive action, but nothing seemed to work. Nothing ever worked. Because why? Because I was just trying to use this conscious mind, just trying to hammer down without working on this aspect. Okay, I was trying to take massive action, but nothing happening. I wanted to have the results of an entrepreneur. I want to do the things that an entrepreneur does. I set the goal of the entrepreneur, but till the time this did not shift, nothing shifted for me. And that is exactly what I want to share with you. Okay, so this is the real reason why we learn in the program, Mindset and Reality Revolution program, that first is shifting from the core, aligning from the core. It's the being, the state of being that we need to align to first, and then the doing and the having falls into place. And this is the key principle that I want to share with you. I want to share with you the 3 paradigms of manifestation or reality that I learned from David R. Hawkins. He shares that the lowest level of reality or existence is the having paradigm, where we derive our sense of self-worth from having certain things. Like, for example, I have this, therefore I am. So I have, therefore I am. Derive your sense of self-worth, the things that you have. So the next level is the doing paradigm, which is I derive my sense of self-worth when I do certain actions or do certain things. So I do, therefore I am. So therefore in these 2 paradigms, what happens is that when I have certain thing, when I do certain thing, then I feel a certain way, right? And the highest paradigm, he explains, is the being state, where I derive my sense of self-worth by I am enough, by just being myself. So I derive my sense of self-worth by just being me, just being in a state of alignment of who I am. So therefore, this is the highest state of the being. And over the years of my own personal experience, what I realized that these are the two levels are basically constantly changing, because our results are, what we are trying to do is we are trying to have certain material goals or results so that we can feel a certain way. So we are trying to feel a certain way, or trying to derive a sense of self from by having or doing certain thing, and it never really worked. And that's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to have the freedom lifestyle, or do what entrepreneurs do, to be able to feel worthy of who I am. So that's why the more I try to hustle and struggle and trying to do multiple things and trying to chase and trying to do that, it never really worked, because at the core of my identity, I wasn't able to align that, or I wasn't able to derive that sense of self as being a successful entrepreneur, as being a successful coach. I could not hold that. And therefore, this being wasn't in place, therefore the doing and the having never could happen. And that's why people who have this quick instant gratification of trying to get the quick money, trying to get the quick fix, is all because we want to do and have quickly. We have the instant gratification plague, which kind of gets us running around and doing multiple things. But even if we, by luck or sheer hard work or trying to burn out, and we do multiple things, and even if we do or have that, it doesn't stick around for very long, or we don't get that fulfillment from within, because this state of being in a core identity is not that of the worthiness. We don't have that worthiness developed within. And that's why when I flipped that completely and started working, and that's what we work in our Mindset and Reality Revolution program, is basically trying to work from within, trying to align to the high state of being, the highest core state of being from where the doing and the having naturally falls into place. This is like the biggest domino. Once we align this domino, these dominoes fall into place. So we work from inside out rather than working from outside in. And that's why we learn in the Mindset and Reality Revolution program is basically we hit the domino first from here. So the being. So who are we becoming? Who I need to become to be able to do or have that. So when we align to becoming or being the version of Sajni that would be a successful entrepreneur, a successful coach, then the doing and the having would fall into place, right? Then it starts to align. But when we try to just try to have and try to take action, these are just surface level existence, like David R. Hawkins mentions. And that's why no matter how much we beat ourselves against the wall, no matter how much we try to run after or doing this technique or doing that technique or doing this stock market trading or doing another multiple shining object, so our minds keep running around because our conscious mind is very good at trying to reason out things. But the real shift that happened for me was basically the analytical mind or the intellect is very obsessed with doing and taking action. But the real magic happens when you try to get out of your way. When the analytical mind, you push your analytical mind or let it relax a little bit and let the subconscious mind come to the forefront. Because we are trained or we are programmed to be hyperactive, to be excessively doing, to be taking massive action, to fret about everything, to control everything. And that's the reason why the subconscious mind cannot come to the forefront. This is the real reason why Einstein says that in this day and age, our intuitive mind is a sacred gift and a logical mind is a faithful servant. But we have built a society where we are worshipping the servant and we've forgotten our gift. So we consciously, this 5% mind, we try to work everything with this little 5% mind. But the true magic starts to happen when we relax our mind a little bit and let the analytical mind is really the gateway into the subconscious. The subconscious knows everything that is possible or required to be done. So when we let go of the fear of, what if, then the subconscious mind can truly get into work, because the what if is all coming from the conscious. The conscious mind likes to control everything, likes to be certain of everything, wants to make sure that everything is foolproof. But we can't have everything. We can't have the whole map ahead of us to be able to reach our goal or to be able to fulfill where we want to go. We can't have the entire map. We have to take one step, 1 foot forward and move towards a goal, and then it starts to become clearer and clearer, and then we navigate. The goal remains the same, but we might have to navigate or change our methods a little differently, but your goal remains the same. And that is the true understanding that I got, and this was my personal epiphany or personal experience that I went through, which was a true path breaker for me. And that's exactly what I share with my clients. So we got to be very, very clear that the having and the doing are not the solutions to feeling a certain way, or being worthy or feeling worthy. It has to start from here. Our sense of self has to derive from the state of being first, state of being or feeling worthy, or feeling as a successful entrepreneur or successful coach or successful business person, or whatever your goal is. The embodiment has to happen first, and then whatever alignment happens, the action and your having falls into place. And with that, let me share with you the 3 keys to how to really ground that state of being. So the first is basically we need to be very, very clear of what we want. Because if we are not clear of what we want, then we'll keep on circling around here and there. And even if you're not very absolutely sure, you just take one step forward to what your idea is of what you want to do. And then the idea of who you need to become to get this goal or to achieve this. For example, for me, I wanted to become a successful entrepreneur, a successful coach who fills the bank account as well as the soul, because I want to do something of impact, of value, for myself, and something meaningful for my community, as well as feeling worthy within for myself as well. So what do I need to do in order to become a successful coach, a successful contributor for the society? So when I align to that, okay, my doingness, my actions started to align. So the second thing is whatever actions you take starts to align with that state of being. So you come from the state of being of who you want to be, what you want to do, and then take the actions. So when you do align yourself internally and do the actions, your actions come from a different place of being, and that's what makes all the difference. Because just doing something mindlessly without changing the internal state of being is not going to reap the results that we want. That's exactly what kept happening for me. I tried to hammer down the actions, but the results did not come because my state of being was not aligned as a successful entrepreneur. My state of being was aligned more to a 9 to 5, right? And that's why this state of being is the most important to hone. Because if we are still having a poor mindset or a lack mindset or scarcity mindset or low self-worth mindset, if we come with that and try to do actions of trying to be successful, once I have that, once I do this, or once I have that, then this is never going to fill. This is never going to be fulfilled, because we were always going to go back to our original default state of being. So that's why first stepping into the state of being is the first step that we learn and master and in this program. So now what happens is that when we are trying to do this, when we are clear of what we want and who we need to become to be able to attain that and take the actions aligned to the state of being, and then once we start to see certain confirmations of what is happening, right? When I started to do this, when I started to envision myself as being a successful coach, giving value to my society, as well as getting that financial freedom, when I started to even get minute results, I started to confirm that. So the third step is to confirm what you're seeing in your reality, what you're penetrating or piercing into your reality. Whatever you're seeing confirmation, it's very, very important to start seeing that. Rather than seeing the results of not having what you want, your focal point should be on what is happening. And that's why then slowly, initially, it might take a little time, patiently, because it takes a little time for the matter to manifest, right? But holding on to that patience, holding on to the state of being, and doing things from that state of being, of being a successful entrepreneur, of being a value for your community. So from that state of being, continuously doing and taking actions and confirming whatever you see in your reality, and then looping that back into your being. So whatever you're seeing in your reality and whatever your actions you're taking, you're feeding that back into your being state. So you're growing your conviction stronger and stronger and stronger. When the old state of being is stronger than the new state of being. So at this point in time, you have to make sure that you keep honing on this state of being, because the old state of being will try to impose again, will try to come back again. But you have to keep reminding yourself, who is it that you're being? Who is it that you're becoming? Are you operating from your 1.0 version or your 2.0 version? Constantly keep reminding yourself, because if you keep operating from your lack versus the new abundant version of yourself, then the results are going to largely make a difference. Because I saw that in my own reality, that when I went back to my old version, even when I started practicing this, even when I started practicing all of this, when I noticed that whenever I functioned from a lack mindset or the neediness mindset or the scarcity mindset or the poor mindset, the results would follow automatically. But when I then had the reflection to awareness to be able to shift to that version of the 2.0 version of the successful coach version, then the results started to multiply. So this is the key that helps you manifest effortlessly. Okay, so I sincerely hope this was helpful. So let's do a quick recap of what we've discussed so far. So we've discussed the first diagram, where we discussed about the conscious, subconscious, the body, and the results, where our results are forming as a result of our conscious, being the captain and aligning the goals, and the subconscious carrying out the goals. And really, it is a subconscious mind, or the true state of identity or state of being, which defines or derives our goals and determines our results. And why, till the time we don't change our state of being, if we don't operate from the state of being, the doing and the having will not fall into place. And that's why we go into this 3 paradigm of existence. Basically, the lowest is having. We derive a sense of self from, or sense of self-worth from having certain things we have. Therefore, I feel worthy. What I do, therefore I'm worthy, or I must be this. But the real sense of self-worth is just being, you're just being okay, or being enough by who you are, just being enough by your own state of being, drawing your internal state of wealth or abundance through your own internal state of being. So from that place, we reverse engineer and we work from the being the doing, and action. And the 3 keys are again the same thing. We first craft who we want to become, be very clear of who we are we becoming and what we want to achieve. And even who we are becoming is in a state of being and becoming. It's not constant again. It keeps on changing, because nothing is constant, nothing is permanent. Everything keeps evolving, right? So even, let's say for example, you want to reach to an X state, right? Again, when you reach that X state, you want to elevate yourself to a Y state. So it keeps evolving. So there, first right now, you hone on to who you want to become, okay, who you are becoming, and what you want to achieve. And from that state of being, you take the actions, and the actions come from a different state of being. And then you start to look for confirmations in your current reality and see what are the feedback that you can get to feed back into your being state. Okay, what are the small results, what are even the tiniest of clues that you're getting, you get that into your reality and feed that back into your state of being. So I sincerely hope this was helpful. I thank you so much for watching, and if you're new to the channel, please do not forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon so that you'll be notified every time I put up a new video. And also do leave me a comment. What the Mindset and Reality Revolution program really is it's one of the highest paradigm of manifestation. So there are 3 paradigms of manifestation, which is the having, the doing, and the being. So when we get to the being state, or in quantum physics, it's also called the identity shifting, because everything is in the state of being and becoming. So when we embody the state of beingness, then naturally the having and the doing falls into place. What I realized in my years of understanding and practicing and manifesting and studying neuroscience and quantum physics, what I understood was that it's never about the techniques, because technique is just the doing paradigm, or wanting to having paradigm, because the more you're wanting to have or want or get, the more you're stuck into that loop. The idea is to elevate into that awareness or that beingness state, where things start to fall into place, the ideas start to come. Things start to manifest for you effortlessly, right? Because we learn the principles, or we learn to work with the laws of nature, where we go through the path of least resistance. We understand the universal principles of balancing, of being and doing, action and non-action, effort and surrender. So these are some of the powerful principles which we include in the program that can help you boost your manifestation, boost your awareness, boost your clarity, boost your productivity. So things start to open up for you. And so the Mindset and the Reality Revolution program is designed in such a way that it helps you to elevate to that state, ideal state, or the being state that you envision to become. And therefore, you effortlessly attract the things that you want to do or have. I'm also super excited to announce that I started the one-to-one interaction for the premium coaching for the Mindset and Reality Revolution program. And so the enrollment link, I'll leave it in the description and in my Instagram bio. So both the links are there. So I can't wait to have an interaction with you and see how we can work together. So I hope to see you there, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time.